Greetings, denizens of the interwebs. Grim Fury here, and it's Tuesday once again. And that means it's time for another video. And I hope you're all enjoying my, I don't know what you call it, fancification on these videos. My new intros and outros and little sound effects and inserts where I can get them to fit. I hope you're enjoying them. Hopefully it's making the videos a little bit more enjoyable for you, because that's the idea, that's the plan, so that's why I'm doing it. So without any more delay, let's get started on this video with things customers do that drive cashiers crazy. Number 10. These are the people that for some reason cannot get their cart into the aisle, I guess you want to call it, where the register is, the lane, or whatever, without hitting something. I mean, it happens all the time. Where the hell did you people learn how to drive? Are you like all demolition derby drivers? I mean, I don't get it. The aisles, yeah, the aisles are kind of narrow, but they're not that narrow to where you just have to like practically either you're going to knock stuff off the shelf to one side, or you're going to, tear up the whole side of the, front of the register. I just don't. Is this how you drive out on the roads in your car? And just crashing into everything? My God, your insurance rates must be astronomical. I mean, and, I can say this because I'm 40, I'm 29 years old, and I've shopped a lot since I've, moved out of my mom's house. And I use shopping carts quite often. I have never hit anything with my cart. I mean, I've had it to where I've had just a few little items in my cart to a full shopping cart full, and I've never hit anything. And it seems like at least, I would say, I don't know, 20%, 30% of my customers that come through hit something with the cart. Whether they're pushing it or pulling it, it doesn't matter. They're smacking that thing into something and they're like, oh, sorry. And I'm thinking, what is wrong with you? I mean, what someone needs to do is, most of these cart bays are wide enough for 4 rows of carts. So what someone needs to do is go to each store, especially at the store I work at, because these people cannot steer these things to save their lives, apparently. And you need to encase half of the carts in like Nerf, or I don't know, find some way to strap pillows to it or something. Take those pool noodles and glue them or attach them on all the corners and put bumpers along the sides. Because I don't understand how these people do it. I mean, are you Now, if it was only like one person every so often, then I just say, okay, this person's got to be blind. But apparently, whatever it is, it's contagious because it happens every single day. I have not gone a single day at work without at least one customer banging their cart into either this, right in front of my register against that little metal wall thing, whatever the heck you want to call it, or banging it against the shelves, or part of the other register that they're by, or even banging into the carousel. It's like, how do you do this? Where the hell did you learn how to drive? That's what we need. We need to set up some kind of little course out in the front of the store, like they used to do, or they still do for like bicycles, or police training when they're doing high-speed pursuits, or just driving in or just in a pursuit, and they have this little course that they have to drive their patrol cars through. That we need to set one of those up. And if a customer wants to use a shopping cart, then they have to take one of our little practice ones, probably one of the ones that's all dinged up and beat up, but still, is perfectly drivable, doesn't bank to one side or the other, that works perfectly fine, and have them go through a little course, some bends and curves, maybe, slalom through some cones or something. And if you bang into stuff or knock stuff over, guess what? We're just going to stick you with the little basket. And if you're thinking, well, I got to get a whole lot of stuff. Well, then go fill the basket up, go pay for it, put it in your vehicle, come back, grab the basket, go fill it up, pay for it, put it in your vehicle, go back and forth as many times as you need until you get everything that you came to the store for, because you're not getting a cart because you can't drive the damn thing. I'm surprised that there's not more, injuries out there. As many times as these people run into the registers or run into the pop coolers, how is it that they're not running people over left and right? I mean, I don't get it. And yeah, people don't pay attention just when they're out there on the aisles. I've seen people run into displays because they're not paying attention. They're doing this kind of thing, pushing and staring off to the side, or they got their nose buried in their phone and they're driving, or whatever the heck they're doing. They're not paying attention to what they're doing, and they're crashing into things. They're knocking this over, knocking that over. I've come close to getting hit by a shopping cart just going to work, or getting ready to head home, because they just come out from one of the aisles and they're not paying attention. And even now, I use one of those little shopping carts. I don't know what you want to call it, like a little basket, like a little rectangular basket with the little wheels and the little canvas-like bag inside. I use that because I usually carry a few things to work, and I'm not as young as I used to, so I can't carry it on a messenger bag anymore because of my shoulders. So I put everything in there, and it's got a bright red bag in there, and still, people don't see it. I haven't been hit yet, but I've come real close in that thing. Now with shopping carts, I've been clipped a couple of times. I've come close to getting run over when I'm just walking. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know how people survive out there. How is it that they haven't totaled 6 cars in the past 2 years because, they're idiots. They should have some kind of rule. If you cannot successfully maneuver a little shopping cart, well, little compared to a car, but if you can't successfully maneuver a shopping cart from the time you get it to the time you return it to the store or return it to the cart corral or just leave it in the middle of the parking lot
No!
without hitting something, you shouldn't be allowed to have a car. Because you're just a danger to yourself and others. Mostly others. So I don't get how you people are not, dead, or you have little people stamps on the side of your vehicle of how many people you've run over or how many cars you've crashed into. Because if the way you drive little buggies inside the store is any indication the way you drive your car or truck, God help us all. So y'all just need to pay attention to what the heck you're doing. And I don't know, learn how to steer something. I mean, for God's sake, the thing doesn't even have a motor. I mean, the worst case scenario with one of them things you get when it's going to bank to the left or bank to the right, or you get the ones that have wheels that go like this. But they're only going to move when you push them or pull them. They're not going to go off on their own because, oh my God, I didn't put it in park. I left my shopping cart in neutral and it just went straight down the aisle and just ran over 6 kids. I don't know what to do. That's not what happens. It only goes if you're pushing it or pulling it, or it's on, on a hill. But, how many hills do you find inside a store? Not too many. Now, there are some. I've been in a mall where, the old mall where I grew up, that has, levels, and they had, little stairs on each side. But the main body of it was just kind of like one big, kind of like a ramp thing. I don't know what you want to call it. But most people did, could maneuver that fairly well. They, nobody ran anybody over when I was a kid in that shopping mall. And just think, well, what would happen if you, had a shopping cart, whether it was empty or even full of stuff? God help us if it was full of stuff, and they, weren't paying attention and let it go and it went sailing down that hill. I'm sure you could wipe out quite a few people, but that never happened that I knew of. So I don't know how it is that these people just can't go through a store, do just simple shopping without crashing into things. And it's not always someone that's got like their nose buried in their phone or they're talking or whatever. It's just people that are, I don't know, oblivious to their surroundings, or their mind is like not on this planet but on some other one. I don't know. I don't get it. All I know is these people are dangerous because they're constantly running into stuff. At the very least, they're constantly banging into the registers. And I don't get it. Like I said, I've used the shopping cart countless times. And even with my job, there's lots of times where I may be, putting up returns or putting up some candy, and I could be using a shopping cart, and I go through the registers. I don't hit anything. I even had these special carts that only the employees use for when we're stocking. And some of these things, they're in rough shape. You know, this side's caved in, this part's bent, it's got a bad wheel, and some of these things don't steer with a darn. And I still don't run into things. I mean, yeah, granted, I'm extra careful, but I'm not trying to run things over. I'm doing my best so I don't hit things. I don't just grab it, just pull through, and whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to have to pay for it, if I run over something or knock something over. I think maybe we should just get all these people together. Just wait until you see one. Whether it's male or female, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They've got to be at least, I'm gonna say at least 18 years old. From that age higher. And when they run into something, I don't know, stamp their hand, get their information from them, give them a little card and say, we'll call you when the time is right. And then once you get enough of these people together, have just a big demolition derby. And I can imagine that it would probably be quite a sight when you're, just sitting there watching all these people that they can't, even drive a shopping cart. This should be absolutely amazing because, in demolition derbies, people are driving with the intent on hitting you and not letting you hit them. That's the object, and to be basically kind of like last man standing, so to speak. But just imagine having people out there that they just hit things normally. They're running into this, running into that, knocking that over, knocking this over, and they're not even trying. Imagine if they tried. Just imagine what that would be like. We're talking bull in a china shop here. I'm sure that would be quite a spectacle. But, regardless of that, you people just need to, I don't know, take some kind of course to learn how to push a shopping cart, or put bumpers on it, or get one that's made out of Nerf. I don't know. I don't care. You just need to pay attention to what the heck you're doing, so you're not tearing up everything around you, putting people's safety at risk because you're an idiot. And you shouldn't even be allowed to touch a shopping cart if you can't drive the damn thing. Like I said, I don't get it. I really don't. And it drives me insane to think that there are people out there so simple-minded that they can't even push a shopping cart. Now I'm not picking on anyone that's like, disabled, and, they have a cane or a walker inside the cart. There's something, that makes it hard for them to walk. I'm not talking about those people at all because, those people, if they bang into something and and they have a hard time walking, then that's okay. They have a reason. They have an excuse. So, okay, no problem. But it's just the people that there's nothing wrong with them except that they're horrible drivers. Those are the people I'm talking about. Like I said, I can't go, a full day without having at least, 3 or 4 people bang into the register, bang into the shelves. It's been a while since I've seen somebody, crash into a display or something and knock a bunch of stuff over. But I have seen it happen, 2 or 3 times. I don't know what they were doing. I know paying attention wasn't it. But just pay attention. I don't know. Take the phone out of your ear. Take your nose out of your phone. Pull your head out. Do something other than running into everything. It's just, one, it's annoying, and plus you just make everyone think you're stupid. Because that's what I think. Crash, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, really? It's more than wide enough. There's plenty of room. And yet you can't manage to get through that without running into it. Sometimes I just want to say, you know what? Someone put the brakes on this planet. I'm ready to get off and just go somewhere else. I don't want to be here. Just some of these people just absolutely boggle the mind. Make your brain hurt. And you just watch them and it's like, you're a disaster. Plain and simple, you are a disaster. You're dangerous to yourself. You're dangerous to others. Go away. And don't run over anything or anybody on your way out. Well, I think I've griped or ranted about that long enough. So I'm going to do my best to try to make these videos shorter. I know that I can really make them long because I can really just kind of go on and on and on. But considering how long it takes for me to get these videos all uploaded since I've been using this new software, with everything I need to do, it can be 3, 4, even 5 hours from start to finish before, I can actually get it posted. So I'm going to do my best to try to keep these videos short and not, just carry on like I've, been known to do. But if I do, it happens, Anyways, that is going to do it for this week. So thank you all very much for joining me. And I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope I made you smile, maybe made you laugh, or made you think a little bit. Or maybe made you check yourself. Maybe you're one of those people that don't know how to drive a shopping cart. And if so, learn. So, anyways, if you liked, this video, if you had a good time, please like, share, subscribe, and click on the little bell for the notifications. Because apparently, just subscribing doesn't give you notifications like it used to. You have to click the little bell. So please do that, and I thank you all so very much for your support, for being here with me with my videos, and I hope you will join me next week for another new video, because who knows what's coming up. I shouldn't have any more boxes to open until next month, but you just never know. So I may just have, some more rants or whatever until then. But, you know how I am. You just never know what I'm going to do, what I'm going to come up with. So I guess we'll just have to wait until next week and find out, won't we? So with that in mind, once again, thank you all so very, very much for being here with me today. And I hope you had a good time. I hope for the past few minutes, any worries or concerns that you had just, melted away or floated off and gave you just a little bit of peace, a little bit of joy, because, that's what I want for all of you, is just to be able to smile and laugh and relax and just enjoy life even for just a few minutes. If I can do that for one person, then all of this is worthwhile. So, thank you again, everyone. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here with me. And I will see you all next week for another video. Take care, everyone. I love you all very much, and I'll see you next time.